You have done this. $400 of tent zipped shut, every seam sealed. And you are lying in there in your own heat, and somewhere up by your ear in the dark is the whine of the one mosquito that got in anyway. So you lie still and wait for it to land, and you slap yourself in the face and miss. That is the night. Now. Emmett slept on open ground 4 months a year for most of 50 years. No tent, no screen, no spray, because there was not any to buy. Bedroll on the dirt, hat over his face, the whole sky above him. And he was not lying there swatting. He was not tougher than you. He understood something we have unlearned entirely, which is that a barrier is the last line of defense and the weakest one you have got. That tent is what you do after every other decision has already gone wrong. The old hands worked it the other direction. They never let the bugs come to them at all, and they did it with 4 layers in an order you would not guess. So ask yourself honest, could you lay down on open ground tonight, nothing over you, and wake up not chewed to pieces? Your granddaddy did it every summer of his working life and never gave it a thought. My name's Wade Coulter, and my qualification for this one is plain. I have slept more nights on the ground than in a bed. 64 years old, out here in the rolling plains of West Texas, and I have been eaten alive enough times to have learned why. Emmett finally told me, and he told me the way he told most things, once and not kindly. 2 things to watch for. The third layer is a plant that grows wild across most of this country, that every one of those men knew by sight and that almost nobody can name today. And at the end, the campsite mistake that undoes everything else on this list. It feels good when you make it. That is exactly why men keep making it, and I am saving it for last. And nobody forgot this because it stopped working. It got forgotten because there is no money in teaching a man where to lie down. You cannot put a good decision in a box and sell it at the register. You can sell him a barrier and a chemical, and he will buy both again next season. That is not on you, friend. They are good at selling. All right, layer 1, and it does more than the other 3 put together. Where you lie down. An old hand picked his bed ground in daylight, deliberately, before he did anything else, and he was reading for 4 things. First is water. Mosquitoes hatch in still water. Not moving water, still. A stock tank, a puddle in a wheel rut, the slow end of a creek where it goes flat. And here is what most men do not know. They do not travel far from where they hatched. So distance from standing water is not a small improvement, it is most of the fight. Put a few hundred yards between you and that tank, and you have beaten any spray on the shelf. Second is height. Get up on a rise. Cool air and damp both run downhill and settle in the low ground overnight, and the bugs settle with them. A hollow that looks snug at sundown is a bowl of misery at 2 in the morning. Third, and hold on to this one, is wind. A mosquito is a poor flyer, a scrap of nothing with wings, and a steady breeze of 5 or 10 miles an hour will simply ground him. So you do not bed down in the lee of the rocks where it is calm and pleasant. You bed where the air is moving over you. Every instinct says get out of the wind. Out here, the wind is the best friend you have after dark. Fourth is what is growing where you intend to lie. Tall grass and brush is where the ticks and chiggers live. A tick does not hunt you, and he does not chase you. He climbs a grass stem, holds his front legs out, and waits for something to walk past. That is all he does. So the height of the grass under your bed is very nearly the whole tick question. Bare dirt, short grass, gravel, sand on an open flat, and you are out of their reach. And let me correct the old boys here, because plenty of them believe ticks drop out of trees onto you. They do not. They are down low on the grass, and they get on you at the ankle and walk up, which is useful because it tells you exactly where to look. That is layer 1, and notice what it cost. Nothing. 15 minutes of looking around before you unroll your bed. Layer 2 is smoke, and there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. A smudge is not a campfire. A campfire burns clean and hot and does almost nothing for bugs. A smudge is the opposite. You want it choking and low and lazy. Build a small fire, and once it has coals, you smother it with green material. Green grass, damp leaves, green cedar, and out here, dried cow chips, which the old outfits burned for everything because there was no timber. Chips smolder slow, throw a dense, heavy smoke, and they were free, laying all over the country. Now, the part men get wrong. They build the smudge right next to the bedroll. You put it upwind and well out, 20 or 30 feet, so the smoke drifts across you thin and steady. You want the tail of it, not the middle. If your eyes are running, you are too close. And it works for a reason worth knowing. A mosquito finds you by the carbon dioxide off your breath and the smell of your skin. He is following a plume through the dark. Lay smoke over that plume, and he has nothing to steer by. You have not built a wall. You have gone invisible to him. 2 cautions, and I mean them. Never bring a smoldering fire into a tent, a shelter, or a covered truck bed. Smoke in a closed space kills men in their sleep. And out here, dry grass and a fire you quit watching is how you burn out your neighbor. Ring it, keep it small, keep water or dirt in reach. Layer 3 is what grows out there, and this is the one I promised you. The plant is horse mint. Some call it bee balm. It comes up wild across a great deal of this country. Pink or purple flowers stacked up the stem in whorls, and crush a leaf in your fingers, and you smell something between mint and thyme straight off. That smell is the working part, and it carries the same compound they put in some commercial repellents to this day. The old hands rubbed it on their neck and ankles, laid handfuls in the bedroll, and threw it on the smudge. Alongside it, cedar. Green on the fire for smoke, boughs under the bedroll. Sage the same way. Yarrow crushed and rubbed. All of it free, all of it inside 100 yards of most any camp. Now let me be square with you, because I will not oversell it. This is hours, not the night. Crushed plant on skin fades, and you have to do it again, and it is nowhere near as strong as what you can buy today. If you are going into country with disease-carrying ticks or mosquitoes, use the modern stuff and do not be proud about it. I am telling you what worked when there was nothing else, not telling you to turn down what we have. And one more, because this is where the old ways will hurt you. Pennyroyal shows up in every old account on this subject. Rubbed on, brewed, burned. Do not use it. It is genuinely poisonous, the oil especially, and it has put people in the hospital and killed some. The old boys did not know that. We do. Leave it alone. Layer 4 is the barrier, and I have put it last on purpose because it is last in importance. Canvas underneath, canvas over, edges tucked under you so there is no open seam at the ground. Wool blanket inside. Boots turned upside down beside your head, never left standing open. Hat over the face or the wild rag pulled across it. And the discipline matters as much as the gear. That bedroll got shaken out hard every morning and rolled tight. Never left spread on the ground all day gathering tenants. A bed left open 8 hours is an invitation. Now, before the last thing, one honest word. I am no doctor. Most of this list is about a comfortable night, but ticks in some parts of this country carry serious disease, and so do mosquitoes in others. If you take a tick off yourself and come down with a fever or a rash or aching joints in the days after, that is not something to sleep off. That wants a doctor, and soon. Check yourself every night in tick country. That is the one habit here I would not skip. Here is the mistake. A man walks onto his campsite at dusk, tired, and looks for the softest, most sheltered place to lie down. Deep grass, leaf litter under the trees, a snug hollow out of the wind, soft sand down in the dry creek bed where the walls cut the breeze and the ground is like a mattress. Every one of those is a bug decision made exactly backwards. Deep grass is where the ticks are waiting. Leaf litter is damp and crawling. The snug hollow is the still air a mosquito needs to fly in, and the low ground where the damp settles. Comfort and capability pull opposite directions here, and comfort wins, because it is what a tired man reaches for at the end of a long day. And that dry creek bed is the worst of them, because it will cost you more than a night. That is an arroyo, and a storm you never saw, 10 miles off, can send water down that channel in the dark with no warning at all. Men have drowned in dry creek beds out here. Do not bed down in one, ever. Emmett caught me at it when I was 19. I had found a beautiful soft spot down in a draw, all made up, proud of it. He looked at the bed, then at me, and all he said was, "You pick that with your back." Then he walked up the rise and unrolled his own on hard ground in the wind. In the morning, he was fine. I was not. So there it is, 4 layers, in order. Ground first. High, open, windy, well off the water, out of the tall grass. A low smudge upwind, and you in the thin tail of it. Crush what is growing out there and put it on your skin and in your bed. Tuck your canvas and shake it out come morning. Then, and only then, does a barrier mean anything. 3 of those 4 cost nothing at all, and together they will give a man a better night on bare ground than most people get inside $400 of nylon. Do not try all of it at once. Pick one. Next time you are out, walk 50 steps uphill from where you meant to lie down and put your bed where the air is moving. That is it. That is Saturday. That tent you are lying in, sweating, listening to that one mosquito. It is not failing you because it is a bad tent. It is doing the only job it was ever able to do, the last one, after the first 3 were already lost. Now come down in the comments and tell me what your people burned to keep the bugs off. A smudge, a rag smoldering in a can, or something your mother swore by that you have never seen since. I read all of them, and the answers on this one will be regional, and they will be good. Whichever comes up most is the one I run down next. Speaking of next time, there is a reason the old outfits never let a man drink his fill coming in off a dry stretch. It looked like plain cruelty to anybody watching. It was not, and getting it wrong has killed people. Until then, ride for the brand.